In this tutorial, I'm going to cover the basics of machine language. I'm going to discuss what machine language is and how it's used. All data in a computer is represented in microscopic two-state switches. Now these switches can either be on or off, and there are no other states that these switches can be in. So the switch, there's no intermediate where the switch is partially on or partially off. It's either completely on or completely off. These switches are called transistors. You can think of a 0 as being off and 1 as being on. Otherwise, 0 being no power and 1 meaning it has power. To help you understand this, you can think of basic light switches. When you flip the light switch on in your house, it's either on or off. There's no in between. It's not partially on or partially off. Some of you may have lights in your house that can be dimmed or brightened depending on the setting in the switch. Those lights are controlled by potentiometers, and that's a completely different topic. So for this topic, we are going to think of basic switches that are either on or off. Now, computers can only understand these two-state switches. So when computer programmers first came along, they had to write all of the computer's instructions using ones and zeros. An example is listed here, and this example is called binary. Anytime you see zeros and ones, it's called binary. It's base 2 mathematics, meaning that there's only two numbers that are possible, either 0 or 1. To help you understand this, you can think about normal mathematics, which is a base 10 numbering system, which uses the numbers 0 through 9. Okay, so binary just uses the numbers 0 and 1, so it's a base 2 language. Instructions written in binary are called machine language. Now, machine language is not platform independent. What that means is that each type of machine is going to have its own machine language. So this means that any program written in machine language is going to have to be rewritten or modified in some way if that program is to run on another type of machine. Even with the lack of platform independency, machine language is still very important because it's the only way to communicate directly with a computer. Remember that computers only understand zeros and ones as a switch either being off or on. So there is no other way to communicate with a computer other than machine language. So if you have a program that is written in a higher level language, that program needs to be converted to machine language before it'll run on the computer. When it comes to development in machine language, it requires very highly skilled programmers, and it is very error-prone. It's not error-prone because of the machine language itself. It's error-prone because people generally have a hard time reading and writing binary. We're not designed to be able to read long strings of zeros and ones. So when you have to edit a program that contains possibly thousands or millions of lines of zeros and ones, the program is going to be very complicated, and there's going to be a high risk of errors within the program. So hopefully this lesson has helped you understand the basic definition of machine language, so that way when you hear it referenced in class, you understand what machine language is and what's being talked about.